I got 3 gobies in here. 2 of them were fairly healthy, like this one. Sometimes they come when I tap the little tank. This is the one I had gotten as well, and I thought it was gonna die. It was just basically a head with some bones attached. Had no fat on it whatsoever. I can't believe he's alive. But of course, they won't eat frozen food. And again, like, what? Live food? Where are you gonna get live food? Alright. So I also went for the mosquito larva with these guys. These are the guys that got me started on the mosquito larva. And I mean, he's healthy, alive, probably a female actually. It's not very colorful like the other 2. I usually wait till everybody comes up front, because they'll pig it all out before the 3rd one shows up. They're a little territorial to each other. I guess gobies are known for being territorial. However, they get along perfectly with my other fish. They swim together. Like, literally, he'll try. My male killifish will try to spawn with this poor goby that's just not into it. Yeah, I got killifish in here. I don't know what type of bumblebee gobies they are. They're clearly different than most bumblebee gobies I've seen. I got the rare sighting of the dwarf coolie loach. Maybe I can get those to come out later. They absolutely love bloodworms and obviously algae wafers and such. I got my dark blue shrimps, my cholla wood. I mean, so many plants in here. This is where I removed that swords plant, because it was, I mean, these were so tiny. When I got them, I had no idea they would just do this. I don't use CO2, believe it or not. I use a bubbler in the back. Snails I just let them take off. It don't matter to me. I never clean the glass. I've cleaned this glass one time, and it's been up for months. Let's see if we can. Let's see who wants to eat today. Look at them, they're so excited already. Oh, there's the 3rd one. Alright, let's go. Little female killifish in on the action. Oh, somebody's down in the grass. Loachy. This tank is fun because this food keeps them busy. It'll go in here. Sometimes they eat it right away. Sometimes the food will just hide, and then they spend all day finding it. It's great for them. little shrimpies in on the action. I think everything just gets excited when I bring live food in. I just scoop my food in this rainwater dish, and so this is like the rainwater from those buckets that's also in here, and then I use tank water after that. I got this tank for free. I was helping somebody move, and they just had a tank sitting there. This is my like second tank to set up. My first one was a 3-gallon fish bowl, and then obviously my pond, but this tank really got me into this. Everything in here is just so peaceful. I stare at this thing for hours. It's that deep substrate. You can see the mulm kind of working down into the sand. The water's crystal clear. I've done 2 water changes in here just to get the rainwater in here. You honestly probably never need to do a water change if you have a balanced tank like this. However, fish release hormones into the water that tells them not to breed and stuff. Those hormones build up over time, so if your fish aren't breeding and your water's really old, that's probably why. So I just freshen it up with the little rainwater. The killifish spawn in the morning and the evening. I've had a couple babies in here. I think they ate them, to be honest. I've been on the lookout for them. I'm gonna move them into a little nursery tank next time they have little babies. You can see they're all fat and full now. Even the loaches get so excited when I feed. I haven't even put their food in there yet, but they're looking for it. They actually dug a hole under this rock. They all live under this rock. There's 5 in here. These are dwarf coolie loaches. They stay really small, like, as you can see how small they are. They're so cute. I love seeing them. I originally started this tank with tadpoles because I was a bit skeptical on how all this works, being natural. And I know tadpoles are extremely sensitive to water qualities. And so I put them in here, and I did not feed them anything. And they lived their entire stage through these tanks. And I put them in the fish pond when they got their legs. And that's a big deal. I start this with spring water. The pH is, I want to say it's around 8, which is pretty high. But as you can see, I add leaf litter, which as they break down, is a bit acidic. So it does kind of lower that pH. I started with spring water too because of all the minerals in the water, which makes for really stable water conditions. It don't let the pH swing. Killifish always chase away with each other. Usually just the male dominates the top, female on the left side, and female in the back. Except for in the mornings, when they spawn. Then they're back to this. It's just their nature. But now I've been taking out some of this water, adding it to the buckets in the back, taking some of that buckets, which has tadpoles and daphne in it, which are all really sensitive to water qualities, and I put it in here. So I'm sure everything's getting quite neutral now. I do everything very slow, just like nature would. You don't want to shock anything. But this is so easy. The easiest way to keep fish. I don't worry about the water. I don't worry about them really getting sick because it's already has so much bacteria in it that keep other bacterias in check. And everything just thrives as a result. This is just a nature tank. Nature does everything in here. I just add nature, obviously, because it's indoors. It doesn't get the same treatment as outdoor water would. So I try to bring that in here. There is a slight amber color in here, and it's just because those tannins in the bucket. Which the plants love tannins, the fish love tannins. It actually relaxes fish. It's part of their natural habitat, whether they were born in a pet store. They still have those instincts. I've never lost a fish in here. I've had several shrimp babies come out of here. But I have lost a shrimp. And that just happens. Like, clearly it's nothing to do with the tank itself. And this too also has the hydroponic leaves and stuff. I do have a filter set up for this tank back there, but I have never used it, and I took out the pipe. It don't even have the pipe that goes into the water. So when I originally started, I thought about using a filter, and not having one just led me to use the bubbler, and honestly, a filter would just be terrible. I've started a tank with a filter and a bubbler, and it was just a terrible experience. Always better to just let nature balance your tank out, and then you can gradually increase the number of fish you keep based on how many plants you have and how big the fish is, obviously. Oh, Yeah, I got these guys in here too. I don't see them all that often. Little otocinclets. They love the algae wafer. Got some of that good mulm in here. Real good stuff. More of that crystal wort growing back there. It's just a beautiful plant. I think we'd actually gone to the lake after it had like flooded pretty good, and there was a bunch of little plants like that, hornwort, anacris, washed up on the shore. A few hair grasses, which these are the hair grasses from the pet store. My other tanks have some hair grass from the washed up flood. So we brought some of this good stuff home because it's just gonna dry up on the beach if we didn't. I gave it a second meaningful life. Got that big leaf Anubias back there. Yeah, it's pretty hidden. It wasn't when I first planted this tank, but this sword is just massive. And I just stuck this bulb in here. This bulb I got from the store. My wife had picked these out, and the other tanks we put them in, they just melted away. And I guess that's pretty normal when you move a new plant into a new environment. But anyway, this plant just started going crazy in this tank. Yes, it does have a few little holes. I do believe that's more like maybe snail related. I don't think it's a nutrient deficiency because of the color of the leaves and how I have obviously tons of nutrient in here that comes from these leaves, and you can see the iron and the substrate and my compost layer. Can even see these little roots coming into this substrate. I mean, they go to the middle here. Yeah, it is a little green there. It's not an illusion. It's just fine. It's just, I tear up some leaves every now and then. Oak, magnolia. Throw them in. They do tint the water a bit, but I like that. I like that look. I think it makes the plants way more vibrant. It's just that green against the amber is just beautiful. I don't know what kind of plant that is. I think it looks like a type of like fern, but that too was just found on the beach and said, heck, I'll throw it in, see what happens. And it's beautiful. And that's that. And that's the mosquito larvae. That's how I feed my stubborn fish for free. And they too recently started accepting bloodworms, but they would not touch those things when I brought them home. Now they're healthy as could be. You couldn't even tell that little guy was just a little skin of stick, bones. She's definitely better looking now. Look at that little belly. And yeah, the smells, just, I don't care. Look how clean everything is. They break down the fish waste and make it easier for the bacteria to break down, and it just speeds up the process so much better. Yeah, I do have quite a few snails in here, but it's not like they just keep making snails. That's really not how it works. They make snails based off the food availability and their nature. They know what they're doing. Just let them. Let the tank be. Like, clearly you have to feed some of your fish, but they can go a couple days in this environment without eating, just because there's already infusoria and bacteria in here we can't really see, but they have tiny eyes, they can see it. Alright. Got some other tanks I'm gonna go feed now. But those are my picky eaters, and that's how you feed those picky eaters, with a little bit of off-track information.